Guys, hey, look at these guys. Welcome
Yeah.
in. PHNX Bets Daily podcast. Johnny Venerable, joined by the returning Shawn DePaz, who is glowing after some much-deserved time off. Back in time for a little playing action and to see his precious Diamondbacks atop the NL West standings.
Yes,
Shawn,
sir.
how we living?
I'm living luxuriously. I'm feeling good. The D-backs are a wagon. ASU baseball is a wagon. The Red Sox are not a wagon, but I don't care about them because, like you said, my precious D-backs are playing baseball, baby, and I love to see it. I'm going to my first home D-backs game of the season this year. I got to see the D-backs in San Diego last Tuesday in San Diego, and then I saw a little Angels Blue Jays 2 days ago in Anaheim. So I'm all in on baseball, baby.
If you don't know, well, first of all, hopefully you do know. But if you don't know, Shawn is a savant for many sports. I'm not just saying that. My man covers Sun Devils. They cover damn near every sport. He's I would say his acumen is elite when it comes to hockey, and he can dabble football, baseball, whatever you need, and then of course basketball. So jack of all trades, master of several things. As we welcome Shawn back to the program. Shane, much deserved time off. I don't know when that man has been off over the course of the last 30 days, but we're on today, and we're on to the precious Arizona Diamondbacks, which, I mean, you look up every evening, they're winning games. Maybe they're not supposed to. I don't know. They're atop the NL West standings. They're beating real teams. And I think that's what's worth pointing out. They're not beating up on the Giants just yet. I mean, they're beating the Dodgers, and they're beating the Milwaukee Brewers, who look like maybe the
And the San Diego Padres. They got one on the Padres.
And the Padres. So, Shawn, early returns suggest that maybe this team's ahead of schedule. We've talked about it seemingly every day. Can you trust the Diamondbacks over the course of this robust season to, number one, make you money, and number two, for a futures odd, be a playoff team?
I think so. I mean, I think you might have missed the boat on the playoff team at this point because the odds you got during the offseason are probably the best odds you're going to see up until those MLB playoffs. I think you can trust them, yeah, because the biggest question was always the bullpen, and so far you have a couple of guys in the bullpen that you can actually trust. Shout out the Sheriff. So like if the bullpen is keeps on doing what they're doing, which they have done against some of the best teams in baseball, if they keep doing that, I think you have a reason to trust them because the offense was not the question. I mean, to start the season, I was a little worried about how sluggish they seemed, but this was never going to be a team that was going to blow you away with like home runs. It was going to be a lot of small ball, and it seems like they're doing that pretty effectively so far. Like you said, beating really good teams. I think you can trust this team. As long as, I mean, obviously, as long as they're playing the way right now, I would trust them until they give you a reason not to.
Yeah, I like your analogy that they're not overly dependent on the home run ball, the HR ball, and I agree with that. And I think that is going to serve them well over the course of the dog days of the summer. I think this team, that's kind of slump proof. If they play good fundamental defense, if they advance runners, they don't waste at bats, which they're not doing to start this year. They're one of the most fundamentally sound teams. I'd have to look at the advanced metrics, but I mean, outside, we talked about it yesterday, of one singular blowout, they have a plus run differential and they look good in the process. So I think we're all in the same boat. This team's a little ahead of schedule. We expect them to be at least in postseason contention. I don't think they're going to be coronated as the NL West champions today. I would say by August and September, if they're within 3 to 5 games, that's a huge, huge reason to celebrate. And then we start talking about manager of the year and that kind of thing. Yeah. If their payroll when compared to the Dodgers and the Padres, and they're, suddenly you're talking about just some really, really sound decision making from this front office and from this team. So we're gushing about the D-backs. Speaking of the D-backs, you can wager on them with our friends at BetMGM Sportsbook. We've got our bets coming up here for the evening, but if you need a quick precursor on our friends at BetMGM, listen, if you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? Use bonus code PHNX. You're going to get up to $200 in bonus bets on your first wager with BetMGM. It's super simple. Here's how it works. You download the app. You sign up with bonus code PHNX. You place a pregame moneyline wager in the amount of at least $10 at a standard odds price, and you're going to get $200 in bonus bets instantly, regardless of the outcome of your wager. You don't have to win Be great if you won, but if you don't, BetMGM has got you covered. Just make sure you use the bonus code PHNX when you sign up. And get this, join us this weekend beginning, I think, is it this weekend? No, it's the first away game for the Suns playoffs. BetMGM Sportsbook watch parties presented by Nutriel will feature food and drink specials, giveaways, BetMGM deposit matches. Join us the entire postseason. So I teased it by saying maybe this weekend. It's the entire postseason for Suns away playoff games. We cannot wait to hang with you all at BetMGM Sportsbook, the lawn of State Farm Stadium. By the way, our new home of PHNX Cardinals tailgates this fall. We can't wait. And now you get to hear about our degenerate Shane Diefenbach talk in the disclaimer.
Disclaimer, 21 plus to wager. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in Washington, D.C., Mississippi, Nevada, New York, and Ontario. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369, New York. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, Arizona. 1-800-522-4700, Kansas, Nevada. 1-800-327-5050, Massachusetts. 1-800-BETS-OFF, Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help, Michigan.
Just love that. Love that cutie's voice. Reading the disclaimer like only he can. Let's talk a little NBA. We were talking about it off air. We got 2 playing games tonight. What are you looking at? What are you watching for? And it would be low-key hilarious if the Lakers lost. But do you see that happening, Shawn?
I'm not going to predict it to happen, but I think it's possible. Like we were playing solid basketball. The Timberwolves were playing solid basketball going into the end of this year. Karl-Anthony Towns, he has those nights sometimes where he can just produce. And the same thing for Ant. Like they have a couple of guys that can go get it. It's LeBron James. I'm not gonna in a winner go home situation against a team that is good but not that good. Like the Timberwolves are still they're playing in a playing game for a reason. You're giving me LeBron James and that team. It's going to be very difficult for me to bet against the Lakers in that situation, especially with Austin Reeves being Austin Reeves, I guess. This is just who he is now. He's just a good basketball player.
Yeah, the Western Conference, and specifically our Phoenix Suns, we have to accept, like, the Lakers are playing their best ball of the season right now, so there's no reason to bet against them. We will laugh in their face. I will happily throw away a $5 Laker moneyline bet tonight, or $10, whatever I choose to dabble on I'll pay $10 for the Lakers to lose this game. Hell yeah. That's called hedging your bet, folks, and you can do it with BetMGM. Let's get into our picks for tonight. Shawn, if you could do us the honors, what do you like?
Yeah, I don't have any basketball picks. Do you want to do your basketball picks before we move on?
Yeah, let's do. I've got a parlay. I've got a 2-team parlay. I get to do this because Shane's not here. Anytime the money line is over, I think, what is it, 175, I get yelled at. It doesn't get put on a graphic because a big-time fraud runs this show. So I like the 2 big favorites tonight just to win outright. You parlay those together on BetMGM Sportsbook, minus 121. Dabble with me, folks. Heat and Lakers should win. We'll see what happens. If I had to guess, I would say they both win pretty comfortably, but I'm not going to dabble, especially with the Lakers, as Shawn mentioned. Minus 8.5. It's a lot of points. So minus 121, BetMGM Sportsbook parlay, and dabble with your free bonus bet. With
I love the Heat. By the way, I would take the Heat spread. I think it's minus 5.5 right now. I think the Heat dominate the Hawks. Just like I said, the Lakers. The Lakers are always going to wear me a little bit, but I'm not going to bet against them either. So I like that, despite the fact that it is not the most voluptuous of odds.
Ooh, speaking of voluptuous, let's talk about a voluptuous slate of MLB action tonight. Now, Shawn, what do you like?
Let's see them. I'm starting with the D-backs. I mean, like I said, they're a wagon. They've got Mert on the mound. Corbin Burns on the mound, right? Like the Brewers have a pretty good pitcher on the other side too. So you might be a little interested in the under here. I think the total is at 8.5 last time I checked. It might be just be 8, but I like the D-backs. They're playing really good baseball. They're at home. I'm going to take them at plus money. And then the Twins minus 1.5. Playing the Chicago White Sox. Chicago White Sox may be without Craig Anderson. He hurt his knee yesterday, so they might sit him out just to be for precautionary reasons. But the Twins have Lopez on the mound, I want to say. Yeah, Lopez on the mound. Only given a 1 earned run through his first 2 starts this year. He's been pitching really well. and the White Sox are just kind of the White Sox. I still don't really know what to make of them, so I'm going to take the Twins at -1.5 with such a dominant pitcher, again, at plus money. And then the Rangers -1.5. You're not getting great value here, which is why I'm taking the run line. They're playing a really bad Kansas City Royals team, and when I say really bad, I mean really, really bad, maybe the worst in baseball. Rangers have DeGrom on the mound. Offensively, they've been putting up runs. They obviously ran and were struggling. We're not struggling, but they were giving up runs to the Phillies early on in the season. But I think as it stands right now, they're top 6 in ERA and batting average. They have a lot of talent. This is what they spent this offseason doing, and spending a lot of money investing in this team. I think they're really good. And when you have this kind of talent, you got to beat really bad teams like the Kansas City Royals. And I think they'll do that with their ace on the mound. So I do like them -1.5 tonight.
Like all your bets, I'm gonna double down on a couple of things you said. Beginning first with Diamondbacks, we're gonna keep it rolling. Going to get a nice series win against Milwaukee in the process. Plus money 105. I'm going to bet on the Rays money line until they lose a game. That's just kind of my
That's
rule.
Very fair.
They're 10-0 right now, going for their 11th straight. And you can get them, I think, to cover at -110. I think about by a run and a half. But I'm gonna parlay it with the D-backs. Are the St. Louis Cardinals going to win a game this year? They're 3-7. They're off to one of their worst starts in franchise history. They are my precious St. Louis Cardinals, and they look like ass so far. Beat up by the Rockies. Their pitching staff is egregious. It's the worst starting staff in the NL. So I like all three of those, by the way, for plus money in a parlay with our friends at BetMGM. And I like one singular prop tonight, and it's this: Christian Yelich, anytime home run, plus 500. I think the D-backs get the win, but Yelich has been off to a really good start in this 2023 MLB season. Is he back? We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna dabble. I got a couple different bets I'm gonna do on BetMGM tonight, and we're gonna have a lot of fun in the process, Sean.
Yes, sir. Let's look at my props. I have a few fun. So I was gonna take Shohei strikeouts, but he's facing a Nationals team that does not strike out a whole lot, despite despite how bad they are, and the total's listed at 7.5. So it's Shohei Ohtani, but it's still a really high total against, again, a team that doesn't strike out much. So I just left it for his home runs. The bats were buzzing on Sunday when I was there. I believe Shohei went yard. I mean, everyone went yard. It was a 12-11 game or whatever it ended up being. It's got Angels written all over it. I mean, parlay Ohtani home run with over on strikeouts and the Angels to lose, because that's what the Angels do. He goes crazy and they still lose games. But I like a home run at plus 290. Longer odds than Mike Trout. It's Shohei Ohtani. I'm going to like those odds against a really bad Nationals team who gives up a lot of home runs. I think they're like 5th or 6th in the league in home runs per 9 so far this year, which is obviously early, but still. And then Shane McClanahan, under 5.5 strikeouts. He was near the top of the league in strikeouts yesterday. But you're giving me under 5.5 at plus money against a Red Sox team who is not good, but their offense is pretty solid. Like, they put up runs. It's really the pitching that's a question. They are one of the best in the league in terms of strikeout percentage. They do not strike out often. So you're giving me plus money on an under on strikeout odds, again, against a team that does not strike out often. I'm going to take those odds. So I like Shane's under 5.5 strikeouts.
Love it. Love it. If you'd like and subscribe to this podcast on a daily basis. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. Like this video. You can share it around the YouTube algorithm, metaverse, whatever the hell it's called. Sun Devils got some fun stuff doing today, Sean.
Yes, sir. I believe. I actually don't know if we're live today. We are live.
I think so.
I honestly don't know. I just got back from vacation. Yeah. I have no idea what's going on. Jacob's saying yeah, so I'm going to assume we're live.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. today. Anthony, Totri, and I. Obviously, again, Shane is off, so it's just me and Totri shooting the shit. I feel like I got a lot to catch up on since I've left. So
some transfer you can learn
shit.
With me. Yeah, there's always something going on with the Sun Devils, as is with PHNX Cardinals live today. Myself, Bo Brock, special guest from PFF. Be on the lookout for that, as well as maybe a dueling mock draft as we get closer and closer. Cardinals opened up their offseason workouts today. Was D-Hop there? No, he was not. We're going to talk about that and more. PHNX Cardinals live today, 4 p.m. Again, the welcome back parade for Sean DePaz. Shane, we'll see. Maybe he's back tomorrow. Maybe he's not. We're back regardless. Every day at noon, PHNX Bets Daily podcast. We'll see you tomorrow. Like and subscribe.